This universal clip lens is going to be able to change your webcam for under $10, 3 different little lens accessories, and it's a good product. Now, the packaging, on the other hand, not quite as strong. So obviously the packaging is completely mangled. Now, I don't actually know for a fact if it's a good product. That's what I'm going to be taking a look at. I'm going to show you what you can do by using one of these cheap little clip-on lens things. You can pretty much buy whatever brand you want. This one I got, it's like $3 or something. I'll have it linked with my affiliate link, which means I get a kickback if you buy it. So, you know, if you want to help me out, feel free to do that. So, packaging, incredibly simple. It comes with a dirty, what? I can't tell if this is on the outside or the inside, but this looks used. Yeah, I mean, there's still stuff on it, but it was definitely the outside is what I was looking at. So I'm guessing this is some sort of carrying case, which it's pretty okay. And then we have one of the lenses already attached, and then we have 2 adjustment lenses, and it just clips on, and I will show you this. Okay, the setup for this is actually super weird. So there's already one on the clip, which is fine. That's not incredibly weird to package it like that. But then I go, oh, another one. This is the cap for this one. Why is the cap not on? And then I go, wait, well, if that's the cap, then I only have 1 more. I'm supposed to have 3. But this actually, you unscrew, it has 2 of them on it. Why? So here is the default clip. It's on here. This is the fisheye lens. It says it's 180 degrees. I will have to test that, but you kind of just, it faces outward, right? So you can actually see it. And then you spin it off. And the other side, oh, it's okay, it's $6. The other side is much wider, and you can tell that is the way to go on. So if we take our other lenses, we have a 0.67 times wide. And we just screw it on, again, facing out. I can't actually get this to fit on. It comes installed on the macro lens, so maybe you have to use them both at the same time? I don't know why you would do that, but okay. So you take the 2 lenses, one a mommy lens and a daddy lens. Okay, yeah. So you get that, and then you have your clip, and you screw it on. Wow, crazy. And then you can use, because the macro lens is at the bottom, you can use the macro lens just by itself. Pretty easy. But I guess you have to use the wide with it. I don't know why you would have to, but whatever. And then you get your camera machine over here. Your webcam, as some people call it. And then you just kind of clip it on. Oh, much better. But how does it look? Do these actually do anything? Well, I'm about to show you. Now, this certainly isn't the best webcam on the market that I'm using, but I think that kind of actually helps add to the point that I'm making. You buy a cheap webcam, it doesn't do exactly what you want, but maybe you can fix that with some sort of accessory. So this $22 webcam with this $6 accessory turns into a pretty decent $30 webcam is the idea behind it. Now, what do people love using their webcam for? Candles, duh. Okay, maybe not, but I am going to use a static object and not me, because that way it will be very easy to keep all the results 1-to-1. Like, I'm not going to move these around or anything, whereas I personally would be moving around. So we're going to look at that. This is straight out the camera, and now I'm going to put on the wide with the macro lens on and see how it changes. Okay, so here it is. There's obviously a massive vignette that's put onto here. The lens obviously doesn't fit to the right size, which, depending on what you're going for, this could be totally fine, but it is kind of weird. This is almost like a fisheye type effect going on with the wide. And I went ahead and I put 2 cans right on the edges of the field of view, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off and see if this actually made it any wider. Whenever we take this off, if it actually made it wider, you shouldn't be able to see the cans at all. If it didn't, you'll probably be able to see them better. You'll probably see where the black isn't. Yeah. I mean, you can still kind of see them, so it doesn't really make your field of view a ton different. But I do think that actually did make it a little wider. Now, if I do this in slow motion, if I go ahead and I break down exactly what's happening, you can see with this webcam in particular, this is not going to be incredibly beneficial in this setup because the actual camera on this is bigger than this adapter that we're putting on. So this is definitely more suited to a smaller camera / sensor or something like a phone. See how I'm wiggling it around? It isn't making this shape necessarily because of how the lens distorts things, but because of the size of the adapter on the webcam. Like the way that I can kind of cycle around. If it was built into the lens, you would not be able to shuffle. Sorry, I am working with webcam, so it does wobble a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and now just put on the macro lens and see what happens if this is actually going to zoom things in any. And depending on this image quality and how you use it, you very well may, if it has vignetting on it, may want to still crop in and go ahead and use it as is. Or if you're using it as a webcam, people use circle webcam overlays all the time. Obviously, a macro lens traditionally is used for things that are up close. So maybe if we bring a different object, because I don't want to mess this up closer, that it will work really well. Oh, wow. No, this actually works. This is a battery that I have, and I'm up super close. And you can actually read that really well. Okay, so the macro lens actually works pretty good. Now, it does obviously not fit very well still. So this is literally right up on top of it. You can definitely see how close this is. So the macro lens is 100% working. This is actually pretty cool if you have some sort of weird shot that you want to set up with using a macro lens and a webcam. I mean, it's going well. It's doing what it's supposed to. And then if I go ahead and take it off, you'll see that everything's going to be hard to read, I'm sure. Wow, look at that. You can't read it. It's way too close. Get back. And now the thing that I'm really interested in, not the battery, the fisheye lens. All right, that is definitely a fisheye lens. Oh, wow. That's a super weird effect. So this isn't necessarily just straight up dramatically changing your field of view. I mean, it definitely does. It's definitely heavily distorting the image like a fisheye lens would. So you can see, I can move that. I move that really far. And another thing I want to show you is motion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my hand down. I'm going to show you me just touch and then up. And then I want to show you how it looks normally. Oh, and I'll do one more. An arm in. And now it'll look super boring. All right, watch this. Oh, I mean, it still looks kind of cool, I guess, but yeah, this you can kind of see looks pretty normal, and the fisheye looks crazy. So this is the size of a camera on my cell phone. This is the size of the clip that goes over it. Fits very easily. This is the size of the camera on the webcam. Fairly big difference. So it looks like it would fit pretty decently. So I think depending on your webcam, you may be able to get this to work really well, or just kind of all right, like I did. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you this device being used on kind of what it's advertised to do, be on a cell phone. And it is pretty easy to use a cell phone as a webcam for the record. So even if you don't have a webcam on hand that can use this, you can use your phone. This is the image coming out of my cell phone. I'm gonna go ahead and end it on this note because this device is made for a cell phone. So is it really worth it to put on your webcam? For mine, I don't know exactly that I would want to use it for like normal everyday shots, but like the macro one could be useful if I had some sort of weird setup I wanted to go for. Yours very well may have like a normal sized lens on it, so you may want to go for it. I will just go ahead and show you very quickly what this could look like if you put it on a cell phone, and by extension, how it could look if you had a webcam that actually supported this well. So this is just my normal shot, and now I'm going to attach the wide shot on here. And here we are. This is the wide shot. Now you can tell that immediately a bunch of brightness went down, and my cell phone is not correcting for that. So if we want to go ahead and raise it a little bit, you can see it actually just completely blows out. That's super weird. I don't know what's going on with that. So this is the wide, and then I'll take it off and you can see this is the after, and then you'll see the before. So it definitely makes it a lot wider, and there's not really like any vignetting or anything going on. Now the macro lens, wow, it makes it super hard to see. Crazy. It's as though we're going on a macro level. But if I bring in a box, yeah, so I am insanely close to it, and that works pretty well. Or if you just want a crazy bokeh filter, there you go, I guess. So there was no question in my mind about the macro lens. The macro lens worked well, I thought, to begin with. But the fisheye, what is gonna happen with the fisheye? Now the fisheye should by design have vignetting to begin with. That's like how a fisheye works. That's how it gets its crazy angle, which I think is a cool effect depending on what you're going for. So here is before, and here's after, and actually there's not much of a vignette on here. That's actually really weird. And this field of view is insane. This is massive. This is such a wide field of view. I'm gonna show you the cans again so you can get an understanding of how big this is. Right on the edge. Oh, too far. All right, yeah, so we went from barely here all the way to here now. And then barely right there to off my desk. So this works incredibly well. I would say this is good product. $6, can't beat it. Now for a webcam, if it actually fits on your webcam in a proper manner, if your webcam is set up in a way that it can use this, I say go for it. For mine personally, I am considering the fisheye still, because fisheyes typically have a bit of a vignette, as you can kind of tell from the corners, but it's actually like nothing on here. So it's definitely not the look that they are going for when they made this. So I don't know. You let me know if you think that it's worth using or not. Again, maybe you have a setup that can take full advantage of it. I tried 3 different webcams. None of them would fit, so I'm giving up on it for now. Let me know if you have one that works, though. I would love to hear about it. And until the next one, take care. Goodbye.